So, yesterday I made Draka and gold glow up. I made gold glow up. I actually made gold skeleton because I took a couple days ago. Like a day ago, I was too lazy. Now I'm not lazy anymore. So look at it. And also, I created Draka in Rainbow. And you know the shading's blue. The shading's blue for the girls. Because girls are girls. But this is Luna Boy. I actually love Draka's face. Like, I'll do a roleplay, like, Luna hit her. That's not like the challenge. I thought it was funny. Like, I don't want to be really funny. But I'm gonna delete that out. And you can see the glasses. Look at that face. It looks so cool. It's red. I didn't know what this color is. And I'm freaking adding lipstick. I'm gonna go add lipstick. Lips. Thank you, Herbie. Lipstick. I'm gonna see, does it go through the mouth? Nope. It'll be gum. It'll be gummy, but it does not. I swear that it went through the mouth. I saw it. You could ask that question. Ask me that question, why the heck am I using this instead of the heart? You know what, that's actually a good question. Why the heart is dead? I should have just used that anyways. No cares. Look, I even added lipstick for Draka. Detail. Draka now has lipstick. Let's do this. Draka's lipstick. Baba say, Look, Dragon lipstick. I like her red lipstick. It's so cool. Look at this. I just play Rainbow because I like it. I the details. I was like, I deleted it by accident. It's like this. It looks like Pewpie's, but who cares? I like Draka's eyes. So nice. I'm not sure, but I think I may find that quickly. But it doesn't really look pretty. I like it. So, I'm making another character, Rainbow, but of course you guys do that, right? And animate.
Or else he'll keep ignoring Taka. He asks who is going to look after kids since Shizuka has supplementary classes to get going too, and Uzeda is not here. Just then, the chairwoman opens door and says, "I will look after the children." She demands that the two immediately get moving, as she can't have the sound of crying child. Echo in the hallway. Shizuka and Ryu comply. As they leave, Kotaro calls the chairwoman Shaggy. Taka scares as she glares at him, but she kneels down helping him to blow his nose. Ryu goes to baseball club's practice and a club member warns him not to talk to Hayato. They see Hayato is in bad mood, angrily swinging his bat. Ryu decides to talk to him and approaches him. He calls out to Hayato and asks if they can talk. Ryu tells him that if he won't forgive Taka, he will gonna wail whole day. He then further says that Kotaro's destroyed a lot of my stuffs too. I understand the feeling, never wanting to talk to him again. He recalls the time when Kitaro scribbled all over my homework. Another time he destroyed my matchstick castle that took 2 weeks to build. He recently dropped my phone in toilet, which had emails from my mom and dad. Hayato pats him and he wipes his tears. He says since it was an accident, he'll just move on. Hayato says my situation with Taka is different. I don't care about the object itself, but Taka is malicious. I know he's not sorry yet, and with a brat like him I guess I have to just suck it up. Meanwhile, Chairwoman listens to Taka as he explains what happened, and he sniffles while blaming Hayato for not playing with him. She asks him if he treasures anything, and he eagerly shows his toy sword. She takes the sword and asks Sakawa to get a hammer to destroy it, which upsets Taka. She is about to destroy the sword with hammer, but Taka begs her to stop. But she didn't destroy it and says that's what you did with your brother and gives back his sword, asking if he truly did nothing wrong. Taka reflects on his actions. When Ryu returns, Chairwoman tells Seikawa that they should get going. After school, Ryu asks Taka if he will apologize to Hayato, and to his surprise, he quietly nods. They arrive at baseball club's practice area, where Taka hides behind Ryu. Hayato stares him and turns to walk away. Taka sprints after him, calling for him to wait, but he slips and falls. Hayato calls him idiot and says if you don't hurry up I'll leave you. He immediately runs toward his brother, he cries out loudly, and says sorry. Hayato whacks him and then pats his head. He apologizes for not spending time with him. Ryu feels happy on seeing the brothers uniting again, while Kitaro holds his finger tightly. Morinami Academy is having a cultural festival today. The daycare room decided to set up a refreshment stand, with babies taking part. Ryu's flyer warns guests that the kids are prone to spilling juice, which Uzeda thinks is bad for business. Kitaro attempts to carry the juice but slips on some juice on floor and starts to tumble. Taka bumps into Kazuma, who bumps into Takuma, and everyone spills the juice. They all are lying on the floor, wearing their cute vegetable costumes. Uzeda made the costumes. He also made a giant corn cob for Ryu. As Ryu wears his costume, Uzeda tells that kids' fathers are also coming today. Kirin excitedly says, my papa's coming too. Suddenly Kirin's mom appears, freaking out Ryu. He falls on ground and says I'm unable to move. Taka says I'll move you, but fails as he starts rolling. Kitaro lies down and get rolled with Ryu, and Uzeda clicks their picture. Hayato appears and says why ain't Korn blocking the door and realizes it's Ryu. Afterwards, Kirin's mom tells she can't attend daycare program because of some urgent work. Kirin tears up so. She assures Kirin her father will be here for her. Yaoi then asks a favor from Ryu and others regarding her husband. Meanwhile, a man, likely Yaoi's husband, offers flowers to 2 girls and asks for directions to the daycare, and Yui is upset because Midori's mom isn't there, but a bearded man approaches him and asks to be taken to daycare. Twins' actor dad is hiding in the bushes, trying to avoid his fangirls, while finding his way to the daycare. Kirin's father opens the door and calls out to his daughter. He immediately starts taking pictures of Kirin, calling her incredibly cute in her carrot costume. And as Kirin smiles, she looks more cuter. Yaoi asks her husband, you came so early my dear, and he tells I was so excited for this. He gives her bouquet and tries to kiss her in front of kids, but she stops him from doing so. His attention then shifts to babysitters. It turns out that Kirin's mom asked for a rather unusual favor. She needs boys to pretend to be girls because her husband is paranoid and thinks everyone is trying to marry their daughter. Uzeda is attempting an unconvincing high-pitched girl voice to sell the idea, but when Kirin's dad was about to shake hand, he sees through it right away. He gets angry and asks Yaoi why there are
Okay. They're being so evil. I definitely being so evil like Korea. It looks so satisfying. Yeah, it definitely looks so perfect. Yeah, it definitely looks so perfect. I love it. Yeah, I did it. I made it look perfect. Okay, it looks horrible. I just did it. Looks horrible. Doesn't mean you have to bully me for that. Yeah, I definitely don't want that. It looks so perfect. I'm gonna cry.
male babysitters, but she has already left. He realizes that the other kids are boys as well and takes offense. Midori bites his leg. Kirin points out Midori is not a boy. He picks up Midori and apologizes. He compliments her big round eyes and says if I were 30 years younger, I'd ask for her hand in marriage. Ryu, Hayato, and Uzeda awkwardly watch him compliment Midori. He turns to the boys and demands to know their intentions toward Kirin. They all tell that they like Kirin, and Kirin also says I like them all, too. But Taka says I don't like you, Kirin, and she retaliates. Her dad angrily asks what kind of jerk wouldn't like my cute daughter. He then says I don't want to leave my daughter in room full of beast men and plans to leave. Ryu steps in and tries to convince him, but as he's wearing a wig he looks like a cute girl. Kirin's dad holds his hand and says, if I were 15 years younger, I'd ask for your hand. Ryu contemplates revealing his true gender, but before he can decide, Midori takes off his wig, and he turns to leave, saying males are unacceptable. Ryu asks Hayato to stop him, who glares at Kirin's father and tells if you want to leave you are leaving by yourself. Kirin's dad redirects his attention to Hayato, hitting on him. But it turns out, Hayato is also a boy. Kirin tears up asking him to stay and watch her successfully carry the juice, and he can't say no to his cute daughter. Just then Midori's dad appears and takes his daughter from Kirin's dad. They both introduce themselves to each other. Inui goes up to Ryu and questions so, I've lost Yukari to this wild-looking bearded man. While he's not looking, Uzeda puts Ryu's wig back on, and he mistakenly thinks he's talking to a girl. Parents arrive at the daycare center. Yukari asks Inui if he's come to see the kids' refreshment stand.
Oh my gosh.
But he clarifies he was only showing her husband the way and then runs away. But outside he thinks back to the girl he saw and says she was cute. Kirin finally gets to present her juice, successfully carrying it without spilling, and her dad reflects on how fast she's growing up. He becomes emotional, worrying about her future marriage, that someday she'll be taken away by some jerk. This leads to more tears in his eyes, and other dads also starts crying. And Ryu comments it's too early to think about marriage. Kirin says it's Kataro's turn. Her dad furiously asks, who's Kataro? Ryu sits and watches Kataro as his baby brother carries the juice to him. Ryu reflects on how fast Kataro is growing. He spills a bit but manages to deliver the juice. Seikawa shows up and startles Ryu, praising Kataro and explaining that Chairwoman can't come because she has a visitor, which disappoints Kataro. Seikawa says, I noticed regret in her eyes, and Ryu envisions her scolding him for assuming her feelings. Kirin's father suggests, to remember this day let's take pictures, and Kirin comment Papa takes great pictures. Moms are spending time with their kids, so Kirin's dad says look this way everyone, I'm taking picture. Taka is with Kataro and says I ain't gonna look that way. Cute Tomato Twin says, we're gonna look that way. Midori cries out loudly, and Kirin gives a cute smile. Kirin dad says, here we go and takes a group photo. The next day, Ryu is trying to calm down crying Taka who was whacked by his brother, and kids tremble in fear as Hayato threatens to hit those who don't listen like Taka. His mother appears and hits him for threatening kids. Then she hits Uzeda for sleeping on job. Hayato asks her why are you here and she tells that I'm here to invite the kids to watch chicks hatching from eggs in the science lab. Uzeda remembers that she's science teacher. The children's eyes sparkle as they listen to Shizuki talk about the eggs. They rush towards the door to see the chicks. She start preparing dinner. And as he leaves, she tells Ryu to assist him. Later, Ryu asks Seikawa what games he played with Kataro. He waves Katao and tells we